Right, so in today's video, we're going to be talking about some more tattoo drama, except this isn't like the other types of tattoo drama we spoke about previously. You know, we spoke about many different situations revolving around like tattoo artists trying to scam clients. We've also spoke about a tattoo artist who is working in a very unsafe way, but this one is very different because in fact it doesn't really involve clients. It does to an extent, but we're mainly talking about two different tattoo studios here. And this situation's been going on publicly for the last few weeks, and in fact I remember seeing a post about it a couple of weeks ago, but there wasn't too much information out at the time. And then more recently, I kind of remembered the post and was like, oh, I kind of want to look to see what happened there. And it turns out a lot has happened. So like I mentioned, there's two main studios you need to be aware of here. The first one being Carrot Tattoo Studios, and the second one being Melbourne City Tattoo. These are two tattoo studios in Melbourne. And in fact, they're pretty close to each other, which becomes a very big part of this whole situation. Now, another person you definitely need to be aware of here is Emmett Tattoos, who is the owner of Melbourne City Tattoo. And we'll get to why you need to be aware of Emmett a little bit later on in the video, but first of all, let's actually take a look at a video that Carrot Tattoo Studio posted a few weeks ago, offering $1,000 to anyone who can identify this person in the CCTV footage.
We are under continuous attack. We are offering $1,000 in cash, or the same value in free tattoos, to anyone who can identify the person in this footage. On 25 September, at around 4:20 p.m., someone threw a full bottle of wine into our tattoo studio and then walked away. As you can see in the footage, our studio is a space where over 20 clients and artists are present at any given hour for consultations and tattoo sessions.
Okay, so you can see what's going on here, right? The footage shows someone with a wine bottle in the hand throwing it down the stairs of this tattoo studio. It ends up breaking on the stairs. Luckily, no one was injured. Obviously, it could have went a very different way. Apparently, me saying that is a bit of a hot take, by the way. Like, I looked in the comment section, a lot of people were like, oh, it's only a bottle. Like, what's the worst that could happen? I don't know, maybe a piece of glass cut somebody? Like, I don't know why that's such a hot take. But this situation does get worse because Carrot Tattoo Studio goes on to mention that this isn't the only time that something similar to this has happened.
Shattered into pieces, and our clients could have been seriously injured. But this is not the only incident. Just this morning, someone glued shut the keyholes of our front and side doors. This is already the third time. The first was last year, right before the Easter holidays. These attacks are always timed to fall just before long weekends, when emergency locksmith fees are extremely expensive. We have already spent thousands of dollars this way.
Okay, so clearly it seems like this tattoo studio is being targeted, right? I mean, we've got someone throwing a wine bottle down the stairs into the studio. We've also got multiple cases of someone gluing the locks so that they can't enter the store. And as we're about to see at the end of this video, it doesn't end there, and in fact, we even have more stuff that happens later on.
On those mornings, clients were left waiting outside because we couldn't open on time. The attacks have not only been physical. As many of you know, our Instagram account was suspended twice, a total of 2 months, because of repeated false reports. Our solicitors had to directly appeal to Meta's headquarters to prove that we had no grounds for suspension. This cost us tens of thousands of dollars in legal fees, and during that period our bookings dropped and our staff struggled. Thankfully, we managed to recover, but it left a mark. Please watch the footage again. If you know who this person is, please come forward.
Okay, so far we've got someone throwing a wine bottle into the studio, which breaks. We've also got someone on multiple occasions, or maybe it was multiple people, gluing the locks. And then according to Carrot Studio, multiple false reports actually got their Instagram taken down. Like I mentioned, it doesn't end there, but we'll get to that. And now where this situation gets crazier is when the person in the video who throws the wine bottle is actually identified. As we can see in the comment section of this video, we got Carrot Studio saying, update, it's Emmett Tattoos, who I mentioned earlier, owner of Melbourne City Tattoo, and he sprayed our signage last night. Please check our new post, thanks. And in that new post, we see this footage from the CCTV footage compared to a picture from Emmett Tattoo's Instagram. I mean, we really don't have to look into the photo comparison here because Emmett has basically just admitted to all of it anyways. We then also see this picture of someone painting over the Carrot Tattoo Studio sign outside. This apparently happening after Carrot Studio posted the video with the CCTV footage. And then reading the caption on this post, it says, as many of you already know, Melbourne City Tattoo owner Emmett Tattoo showed up at our studio yesterday afternoon while more than 20 clients and artists were inside, threw a bottle of wine and ran away. We have no prior relationship with this person. After we uploaded the CCTV footage to social media, within less than an hour, hundreds of people reached out confirming it was him. We are deeply disappointed not only in the business owner's actions, but in what it says about the tattoo industry as a whole. Is the fact that Carrot Tattoo Studio has the most Google reviews, around 6,000, of any tattoo shop in Australia, or even the entire Southern Hemisphere, really such a threat? Does that justify throwing a bottle of wine that could have injured our client and artist, spraying our sign, gluing our keyhole shut? Since opening 2.5 years ago, Carrot Tattoo Studios never closed a single day. We operate 365 days a year, from 10 AM to 10 PM, always striving to provide the best possible environment for our clients and artists. Is this really something worth attacking with bottles, spray paint, and glue guns? The irony is, we've even sent walk-in clients to Melbourne City Tattoo when we were too busy. We've openly shared our strategies whenever tattooists or other studio owners reached out for advice. Healthy competition grows industries. Do you think Toyota, Mazda, Honda, and Mitsubishi built their reputations by attacking each other with weapons? How can a man over 40 act in such an immature, juvenile way? The police and our lawyers are handling this matter, but as the person responsible for protecting our staff and clients, I'm absolutely furious. Yeah, I mean, what absolutely blows my mind about this is, from what we're seeing here, Carrot Tattoo Studios had no idea who this guy was, right? They made this post asking people, who is this guy? So this seems to be a very one-sided beef that's going on here, right? Apparently didn't even know the bloke, and for some reason he went out of his way to throw a wine bottle into the studio, and he must have knew that surely he was going to be identified, right? Like, I mean, they have cameras. So what could he possibly be wanting to achieve out of it? I don't understand, right? The tattoo studios are close to each other, so I guess they're competitors in that sense. But why would doing something like that make you think that that's going to help your business in any way possible? Because as you can imagine, 99.9% of the comments from people who have seen this situation are definitely not on Emmett's side by any means. Now, interestingly, there does seem to be some people that are on Emmett's side, specifically other tattoo artists. Apparently, from what I'm reading, this is just like the old school way of competing with other tattoo studios. If someone opens a tattoo studio next to your studio, the only way to react to that is by throwing a wine bottle through their doors for some reason. First, I want to show some comments from someone who is claiming to be an employee at Melbourne City Tattoo. Interestingly, his username is Heaps of Hate, and he goes on to say, tattooing is an art form built on tradition, passed down through apprenticeships to those who prove their worth under the guidance of established artists. Unlike other industries, tattooing doesn't have a union, HR department, or a governing body to regulate standards or dictate how the craft moves forward. It's not something you can compare to other freelance businesses like a barbershop or nail salon, where you can simply pay rent and set up whatever you like. These are lessons ingrained in apprenticeships, and those who respect the craft take them seriously. The problem here, and what started all of this, is that the shop moved in and opened without consulting anyone in the community. On top of that, they paid for Google reviews to push themselves to the top of the search results, and are bankrolled by investors that can afford the insurance of a street-level shop. Times have changed, and as sad as it is to admit, those things matter now. It's no longer enough to just be good at your job, you've also got to post regularly, make TikToks, and create content to attract clients, because the clientele is shifting. Walk-ins are what keep most street shops alive, allowing artists to continue doing what they love. By cutting into that, this new shop is taking food off the table of people who dedicated their lives to tattooing long before the shop opened. That's why it's been targeted since the day it opened. If you read through the comments, you'll see that the people criticizing Emmett's actions are either faceless finsters or people who don't understand or refuse to acknowledge the traditions of tattooing. They'd rather jump on the bandwagon of cancel culture than take the time to learn about how this industry actually works. You don't have to agree with the way Emmett expressed this message, but at least he took action to make it clear that this shop wasn't welcome. It's never about gender. We have multiple women artists who work at Melbourne City Tattoo. So basically, what we're seeing here is that the reason for all of this is because they opened the store near where Melbourne City Tattoo is. And in this comment, he openly says that they are being targeted. I mean, he actually says that's why it's been targeted since the day it opened. So judging by this comment, they didn't even give them a chance. And again, regardless of what the tattoo studio etiquette is, how does it result in you throwing wine bottles into their studio and vandalizing the store, spray painting over their signs? And then when people point out that that clearly isn't the right way to go about it, their main response is like, oh, you don't know anything about tattoos, you're just a faceless account. I mean, I'll show some of the comments that are on these videos here. I mean, there's this person here called Reaper Riviera who commented a lot on these videos, saying stuff like, dude, his killer work, glad I found him through this dorky post. This dorky post, by the way, being the post showing the CCTV footage. Chances are people who don't know tattoo shop etiquette are not superior artists. Look at this case. That guy is miles above in skill level than anyone at Carrot combined. That's why their selling point is the most reviewed, not the best shop around. Also, you say, was tattooing is forever. If you're still not doing it, then how do you know what lasts in the business? Yeah, basically a big portion of his comments are just talking about how he believes that Emmett is like far superior to anyone at Carrot Studio. There's another comment here from a tattoo artist saying, did you open a shop near a pre-existing tattoo shop? Looks like he's playing by old school rules. Old people used to get their shops burned to the ground for that. Now this person, Justin Carter, does go on to say that this isn't the right way to go about it. He says, no, not at all, but that's just how they used to be, reserved for people who would prefer to bully than just getting better at tattooing. But then when someone actually responds to Justin saying, just checked and the shops are 100 meter apart, 1 minute walk, Justin says, unless it's a highly populated area of multiple shops, I can't imagine opening a studio near an existing one. That's just asking for bad blood and it's kind of disrespectful. But either way, whatever the tattoo studio etiquette is, if there is this kind of like unwritten rule that you shouldn't open a store near another tattoo studio, how is this ever the correct reaction? But now we should actually get to Emmett's response to all of this, where he hasn't actually like written like a direct statement and his thoughts on the situation. On Emmett's own Instagram, he's actually left the comments up. On the tattoo studio, the comments are turned off, but on his own personal page, the comments are still there, and there's actually 2,981 comments on here, the vast majority of the comments being from people who think what he did was shit. He's mainly only replied to people that are supporting him, but he did reply to this comment here saying, your mentality is still stuck in the 90s, I see, to which Emmett says, bring back the 90s. Someone else commented saying, why are you wasting perfectly good wine like that, bro? To which Emmett says, don't stress, it was actually meant for cooking and kind of cooked with it, ha ha ha. He clearly finds this whole situation very funny, but it does seem like the police are involved at this point, right? I mean, Carrot Tattoo Studio recently actually said that the police well, in their opinion, are going to be making an arrest soon. I mean, we can see here, 16 hours ago, as I'm recording this video, someone's tried saying that the person in the video doesn't look like the owner of Melbourne City Studio, to which Carrot Tattoo Studio says, he admitted it and about to be arrested. What are you talking about? I mean, there are so many other comments that I could show this video, quite literally, there are thousands of comments, right? But there are a lot of comments from other, like, tattoo studios or tattoo artists sticking up for Emmett in this situation. I don't really understand it. Now, as for where this is going to go next, obviously we have heard that the police are involved, and Carrot Studio seem to believe that Emmett is going to be arrested at some point. Now, is that going to happen? Who knows? But that most recent comment that I just referred to was 16 hours ago, right? So this is clearly a very ongoing situation. Is there going to be an update in the next few days or weeks or whatever it is? Who knows? If there is, let me know if you want to see a part 2. And yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section on everything that we spoke about in today's video and what do you think is going to happen next. And I'm going to leave it there. So if you did enjoy, please do leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new. Also, if you're interested in some other content, me and Emily have a channel where we upload vlogs. If you're interested in that, that's linked in the description. And yeah, until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, goodbye.